Hello and welcome to Blue Talk, where we talk all things blue. Before we kick off with the brand new news for today, I just thought I should tell you guys, in yesterday's match review of Arsenal versus Chelsea as well, I've been in a different room, a different set, and just if you guys care about me, this is because my brother has invaded my room, so it looks like, for the near future at least, I'm gonna be here. So I've had to improvise a little bit, but I'm feeling pretty well, and I don't know if you can hear that in the background or if that's going to be cut out, but my AC is on, so I have AC in this room, so I'm very happy with that. Anyway, get into the transfer news. Brand new news today. I don't know how believable this is, but it is being reported by several media outlets, and it's a rumor that Chelsea are lining up a bid for Danny Rose from Tottenham. Danny Rose, and just to kind of explain to you why I'm confused at this. It's because Danny Rose is a left back. Yes, he's an English left back for Tottenham. Of course, he'd be a homegrown player, which would be great for Chelsea to comply with the new football rules. While Baba Rahman or Alex Telles, or it looks like Baba Rahman, Baba Rahman won't have that trait. But let me tell you, firstly, I don't think this is going to happen. I think this is one of those things that surfaces for 1 or 2 days and just dies down. Right, but I'm pretty sure Chelsea are going to sign Baba Rahman, and they're in fact, it does. There are media outlets even reporting that he's close to completing his deal. Baba Rahman's even having a medical at Chelsea, so it's this close to happening. But this has surfaced today, so I thought I'd talk about it. Sorry. So we are lining up somewhere around £17 million for Baba Rahman. It looks like Danny Rose would be available for £50 million-ish. So we would be saving, like £1 or £2 million, but I'd prefer Baba Rahman any day, to be honest with you. I just don't think Danny Rose is that great of a player. I mean, he's been, I have watched him play for the last, few seasons that he's, been at Tottenham, and that he's kind of pushed his way up into Tottenham's first team. And of course, he is a homegrown player, so Chelsea would get that, additional trait, I guess. But I just think Baba Rahman is the better option to go for. I think he'll add more physicality and more strength and more pace than Danny Rose would offer, and I think that's what Chelsea need. And so there's the first. Whoa, just went crazy there. These are the first two newses: Danny Rose, Baba Rahman. So oh my God, my computer's crazy. Cray. Okay. Yeah. So that's the new news for today. I think that's the one major news that's happened today. The rest is going to be kind of minor things that are adding on from the past. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Would you prefer Danny Rose, or would you prefer someone like Baba Rahman? Because Danny Rose could be available for cheaper, and he's a homegrown player. But Baba Rahman, in my opinion, is the better player. But I personally think oh my God, my computer! Now, I personally prefer Chelsea to sign Baba Rahman, and I do think Chelsea will sign Baba Rahman. And of course, there is news of him already having a medical ahead of his transfer. And I do think his transfer will be finalized before the Swansea game. I don't think he's going to start because obviously Azpilicueta and Ivanovic are like our official fullbacks. But I do think he will be available for selection for the first game of the season. So we'll see how that goes. My computer. I actually don't know what's happening, guys. Is that... Yes, okay. Okay. It just speaks for itself. Chelsea has signed Jose Callejon, and I didn't mention this in yesterday's video, that Chelsea are lining up a bid of £26 million. Now, about 3 or 4 days ago, there were rumors of Chelsea lining up a £16 million bid, and now it seems like Chelsea's bumped that up to £26 million, and this looks interesting. And for those of you that don't know, Jose Callejon is a winger that plays at Napoli, but he can play on both wings. And he can play as a striker if we do need him. And I did talk about the need for a striker in yesterday's video. He could answer that question. He's 28 years old, so he has got experience. And he has played at Real Madrid until the age of 24, 25-ish, I think. And he transferred to Napoli. So he has got experience at the highest level. Jose Callejon, he really is a great player. And for £26 million, I genuinely think that's not a bad deal. Of course, he is 28 years old. So he may not have, he may have only 2 or 3 years left in him to be, a really quality player for Chelsea. But I think that's what we need, to be honest. someone who can just play at that striker role for the next 2 or 3 seasons. Because right now, Loic Remy and Falcao, who's going to leave next season, because he's all known for only a season, obviously. So I do think Jose Callejon would make a great signing for Chelsea. But he'd be playing, I think he could, when Diego Costa is fit, he could slot in at that right mid slot, or that right wing slot. But when Costa's injured, he can go into the striker role, or at least add some more quality in our depth. Because Loic Remy and Falcao, while they are good, they're not, world class. So I think Jose Callejon would be a great signing. But to be honest, I don't think this is likely to happen, because it's not being widely reported. It's just 2 or 3 media outlets. And Mourinho has repeatedly said in the past press conferences that he's happy with who he's got. He's happy with the strikers. He's happy with the wingers, and so I don't think this is likely to go through. But it could happen. I'm hoping it does. Next story. Surprise, surprise, John Stones. This is basically just a repetition of everything that's been happening in the past. It just basically says that Chelsea are preparing a 3rd bid for Everton star John Stones. Of course, we've had a £20 million rejected, £26 million bid rejected, or £25 million bid, and now we are apparently lining up a third £30 million bid. But this is the interesting thing. Chelsea have had their £26 million bid rejected about a week ago, and I think if Chelsea were to line up a 3rd bid, they would have done so by now if they weren't looking at any other centre backs. If Chelsea had eyes only on John Stones, I think they would have made that 3rd bid by now. And this hesitation, for me, shows that Chelsea are reviewing their options. Because I have faith in my club that they know that John Stones is not worth £30 million, right? But to be honest, if Chelsea do line up a £30 million bid for John Stones, I don't mind. If we get it from $30 million, it is a bit overpriced in my opinion. But in a few years, it'll be worth it, I think. But anything over $30 million, just no. Just no. And it seems that's what Mourinho's thinking as well, because several outlets have said that Chelsea are lining up a third £30 million bid, but they're not willing to go any higher than £30 million, which is good to see. And I really do hope that's the case. And of course, many outlets have also said Chelsea are looking at different player options. Mourinho himself has said in a press conference rather ambiguously that Chelsea know how the transfer market works. If they pursue a player and they get rejected, they'll stop and review their other options. He did say that in a press conference. So you could read between the lines, and maybe he was saying that Chelsea are reviewing their options. And I did say to you before that Chelsea might be interested in getting Romagnoli in exchange for Mohamed Salah with AS Roma. And that hasn't really been widely reported since then. So perhaps I don't think that's going to happen. But I do really hope Chelsea are reviewing other options, because there are better defenders than John Stones for a cheaper price that are available. So that's that. And now, speaking of Mohamed Salah, I don't know if you guys can read that. If I just zoom in a little bit. Whoop. Yeah. If I just yeah. So Fiorentina warned Roma, Salah is ours. So if you guys don't know what's been happening, for the last month of the transfer window, basically, Fiorentina and AS Roma have been having this war because, well, it goes back to January of 2014 or to 2015. This in the winter transfer window last season, and when Chelsea loaned out Salah to Fiorentina for 6 months, there was a clause in his contract that said that if Fiorentina wants Salah on another season, for an additional season, they have the power to make that happen. And this summer transfer window, he's played phenomenally, of course, for the 6 months he's been there. And so Fiorentina have said, we want Mohamed Salah to join us for another season. And they thought there'd be no problem because there's a clause in his contract. However, Mohamed Salah has turned that down, and he's saying he doesn't want to go to Fiorentina. And there's been interest from AS Roma, and that seems to be the club that Mohamed Salah wants to be going to. So now there's this whole legal dispute between the three, and it's just really, really confusing. It's been going on for a long time, as I've said, the last month of the transfer window. It doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. In the end, I do think Mohamed Salah will go to AS Roma. That's just what I just feel in my heart. But Fiorentina are putting up a fight because they want Salah, because he did play really well for them last season. And by the way, if he does go to Fiorentina or if he does go to AS Roma, it would be for a 1-year loan with an option to buy him next season. So it wouldn't be instant cash for Chelsea to go out and spend. It would be just another year loan. So I do think Salah will leave because his career is just going to be wasted if he stays at Chelsea. He wasn't involved in the preseason training, you know, blah blah blah. So I do think he's going to leave. It's just this whole legal thing that's going on between Fiorentina and Roma. I don't see this ending anytime soon. We'll see how the situation develops. But Fiorentina are putting up a fight. And to be fair, they are entitled to get Salah. If the reports are correct. If they did have a clause in his contract that said they could keep him, then they should be able to keep him. And the final story of today, let me zoom in on this as well. There we go. Juventus, Marotta has said that Juventus will not sign Oscar or Isco because they have been linked, in fact, even last summer with Oscar especially. And I'm very happy. I just thought I'd mention this because there have been rumors linking Oscar with a move away for the last few weeks. They haven't been really, they haven't been reported by like multiple. They haven't been huge like John Stones, for example. They haven't been a huge story, but it has been there for the last few weeks. And he's come out and say that we're not going to sign Isco or Oscar. So I'm very happy to see that as a Chelsea fan. I do think Oscar is going to have a great season this season. Hopefully Mourinho will let him play. Hint hint, Arsenal, Chelsea. But yeah, he's not going to move to Juventus basically. And also, I almost forgot. Regarding Baba Rahman, this is just completely off topic, but I've got nothing else to talk about anyway. Regarding Baba Rahman, he has, what's his team name? Augsburg has not put him in the squad in one of their preseason games this Saturday. And they've said that it's due to a muscle, injury or whatever. But it does seem more and more likely that he will be making his move to Chelsea. Just, small things like this. You can read between the lines and just get a feel for what's happening. So, thanks for watching, guys. By the way, earlier today I posted a Fantasy Premier League video. If you guys don't know what that is, I urge you to go check it out. And if you do know what that is, I urge you to go check it out. Go to the description, get the link for my Fantasy Premier League and join it. It'll be great to interact with you guys, to compete with you guys, and just to see who's on top by the end of the season. But that kind of wraps everything for today. Tomorrow, I'll be back with another transfer talk, and of course, the day after tomorrow is Chelsea versus... Who is it? Is it against Fiorentina? No, let me just check. I don't think it's against Fiorentina, is it? Is it against Fiorentina? Ah, it's against Fiorentina. Interesting. So the whole Mohamed Salah situation could develop further going from there, I guess. But yeah, it is Chelsea versus Fiorentina the day after tomorrow, so I'll be coming at you with another match review then. Hopefully we play better than we played against Arsenal. Hopefully we do get our win. But until then, no, that's a terrible ending. I'll be back with another video tomorrow. And until then, stay blue.